pretty girl there. Afro soca once again. Carnival roadblock. When you see them girl, them touch the road and they start to whine. And you see them waistline start to turn and twist up the spine. Watch the man, them got around to take a look from behind. And the way them bumpers turn, man, it bound to blow your mind. Cause all girls are whiner, all type of designer. When the white sing the floor liner, nothing would look finer from behind. Let me see you roll it and then show them what you got. Spread your hands and hold it. Rock the road, it's burning hot.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Dissect. Of course, I go by the name of Novelist, and of course, co-host the man DJ Kaza in the building. We have Sam in the building with us, and of course, we have the man Anthony with us tonight. Good night. Or should I say happy holidays, season greetings? Anthony, you can hear me?
God bless you. Breaking up terribly. Your audio is really crazy.
Okay.
Is it just your end? I'm hearing him fine this evening.
Yeah, I think that might be on you guys' end because I'm on the live and I can hear myself fine.
His audio is
So I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to go back and sort things out. I guess give us a minute, and we'll try to figure this thing out quickly, right, Kaza? Let's go.
Real lion, stone boy, Trinidad, Ghana, calling out all the sexy pretty girl there. Afro soca once again. Carnival roadblock. When you see them girl, them touch the road and they start to whine. And you see them waistline start to turn and twist up the spine. Watch the man, them got around to take a look from behind. And the way them bumpers turn, man, it bound to blow your mind. Cause all girls are whiner, all type of designer. When the white sing the floor liner, nothing would look finer from behind. Let me see you roll it and then show them what you got. Spread your hands and hold it. Rock the road, it's burning hot. Mash up the place when you move your waist. Mash up the place when you move your waist. Mash up the place when you move your waist. Mash up the place. Okay, let's go. Them girl, them block the whole road when the wine. Them girl, them block the whole road when the wine. My girl, you block the whole road when you wine.
Should be fine about now, right?
When you wine. If you tell them the road I get rushed up when the girl them waist are broke, the one of them out of control, the way them a roll like a strip up and pole. Follow wherever them go.
Dissect a little different this evening.
Push your Montenegro. Would like to go up when they roll out for the girl them in a go leg. The way how them a bust up the wine, burn the bumper let me one climb. The way how it shape and design, it's so fine. Maybe you cannot deny. The way how them bust up the wine, burn the bumper let me one climb. The way how them shape and design, it's so fine. Be a girl a wine, yeah. All girls are whiner, all type of designer. When the wine sing the floor liner, nothing would look finer from behind. Let me see you roll it. Then what you got, spread your hands and hold it. Rock the road, it's burning hot. We got wine and bend over.
Yeah, what we call the holiday season.
Make a wine and bend over.
Some of you guys probably just home relaxing and having dinner, trying to get all audio and everything out here sorted out properly, all right?
Them girl, them block the whole road when the wine.
Can you hear me now?
Them girl, them block the whole road when the wine. My girl, them block the whole road.
I think we're fine with audio, so let's try this again. And the audio should be fine now, right? Everybody can hear me properly?
Sounded better. Sounded better.
All right. So how's everything going on you guys' end?
Perfect, man. It's Christmas.
I saw a picture of you last season. I hope you don't dress the same way right now, you know.
Last year, because I was in my full film, pajamas doing my show. Yep.
Nice. So, for in case you guys don't know who this is the man Anthony Drago. And Anthony, maybe you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself. On what you do on TDN TV and all that stuff.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Merry Christmas, I should say. And for those that don't celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy holidays, if nothing else. Enjoy the time with your family. As Novelist said, I'm Anthony Drago. I am part of the team in the background of TDN. Between myself, Sam, and Thompson, we try to keep the lights on and the mics live, and everything in between that, So from that extent, so I'm part of TDN. To that extent, I also have a program on Wednesday, This Week in Interview, which I took over from Thompson. Thompson started it, and then when he went on to higher and bigger things, I'm still trying to fill his shoes. Some big. He's a skinny guy like me, but he's some big feet. Yeah,
big shoes. Yeah.
But in a nutshell, that's it about myself. I'm originally from Casablanca, Dominica.
Nice.
I spent half of my time in Roseau because at 11 I went to live there to go to grammar school. I never really lived in Casablanca after that. Never really left Casablanca, but never really lived there full time after that. My day job is engineering. I'm a mechanical engineer, but I work mostly construction. I do construction management, and I live in New York City. Everything else you will find out during the hour. Right?
Nice. I should ask you, how does it feel to be sitting in that position, though? You always doing the interview, now you're being interviewed.
Yeah. Luckily, I used to join Sam on FYI Fridays.
Right.
So I got a little bit of being accustomed to being on the other side of the mic. But I will tell you something funny. Before I started doing radio as a host, I used to be really nervous on air. I remember a couple of times trying to call the radio station, and I just get so nervous I could not even get the words out.
Right.
Just really, really nervous, because in your mind you're thinking like there's all these people out there listening to you, and you can't even tell what they're thinking.
Right.
Surprisingly, I'm not nervous speaking in public in front of people, but I used to be really nervous on radio. And then once I started doing this Week in Interview, it all just went away. But in terms of feeling good on the other side, of course, tonight I had no setup to do really. Just come sit in my chair and wait for Novelist ask me questions and so on. So it's actually a relief, actually, guys.
Nice. So, Sam, everybody
Yes,
knows
sir.
Sam is. We had Sam on the show last year. We spoke about Calypso. We spoke about Redemption. Sam is also so much to TDN Radio and TV. Where do I start? Management, producers. He alone is producers by himself. He produces the show Dissect. He also produced your show too, Anthony, right?
Yes, he does.
That man is all over TDN. Sam,
Multitasking.
how the year has been for you, man? Like, with COVID, with us bothering you every day, with
Well,
your own family.
it has been interesting and busy and everything that's, goes with the territory, everything that goes with the number of hats,
Right.
Um, uh, as you can see tonight, I don't have the usual backdrop and the
Yeah.
whole studio setup because I'm
Yes.
actually on my phone.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's Christmas Day, and I really didn't want to go in use the detailed system today. So I
Right.
just say, you know what, I'm gonna just use my phone, and you see my two lights behind me and so forth. But it's been a busy year despite everything that's been
Right.
happening, and it's good to be busy. So it's good busy. So I guess that's the important thing, right?
Right. Of course. Of course. Um, like I say, we give Sam a lot of work here on TDN to do as well. So,
Well,
but
not to mention what else I need to do to earn a living. You
right.
know, as running the day to day for G&D Enterprises Inc.,
Hmm.
which also part owns TDN Network. It's an interesting dynamic,
Right.
actually. Maybe I'll tell you all about it someday. But it's just it's one of those things where you just have to do what you have to do. You can't sit and worry about it.
Right.
Uh, you know, hey, bro. Well, my two brothers there, Anthony,
Yes.
and my adopted brother Anthony, and my biological brother here, the G
Okay.
Man.
The G man.
Good evening, Giovanni. How are you?
I'm alive and kicking apparently.
I think Thompson was trying to join us, but I don't
He's
see
there.
his
He's on.
video.
Thompson
Oh,
is
he's
right
there now.
there.
Okay.
Thompson
Something's
is
there.
right there. Let's go to the chief himself. Good evening, sir.
I can't see him.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
on.
know.
He's on. Something
He's
I can
on,
hear.
but
Oh,
I
I
think the mic
we
oh, I
can't
joking.
see him
hear
now. I
him.
see
I
him
think
now.
his
Oh,
mic is
you
muted.
can see me, right?
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
there, you are.
Yeah, we can see you now.
We saw the salute.
What
Oh,
what's going on?
excellent.
What's going on, sir? How's everything?
Yeah, I'm good, man. All is good. Doing well. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Right.
Compliments of
Merry Christmas.
yeah.
Nice. I know it's pretty late for you where you are right now.
Well,
But
late or early, depending on how you look at it.
okay, well, that is true. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, well, you're gonna know right now. This is the head of it all, the man Thompson Fountain. Um, I should go ahead and ask you what inspired you to even start off. But what sparked the idea for TDN Network?
All right. I'll have to go back to 2009,
Right.
and it was we were approaching the elections in Dominica, and I remember in the 2005 elections, I was out of Dominica,
Mhm.
and I had a lot of problems getting the coverage
Right.
of the because at that time everybody was basically hooking up to DBS radio, and in a short while it would just the bandwidth would expire and nobody could hear. So I thought if elections come up 2009 that I should find a way to make the broadcast more accessible to everybody. So I came up with the idea. I said, well, what if I had my own radio station
Right.
that could rebroadcast from DBS so that I would camp in early on DBS and then just rebroadcast a straight rebroadcast where I would have unlimited bandwidth and so on. But I knew nothing about radio at the
Right.
time. I
Right.
didn't know that it's possible. And so I went online, spent several hours working to the wee hours of the morning, reading up on how how the radio is set up, the server, how the server system works, how you get the everything that had to do with it. And I did it. I was able to set it up that night in time for the in time for it. But I must credit Sam though, because no sooner had I established it that I made contact with Sam, my buddy from Grand Fort, and the rest I would say is history. Sam has
Right.
taken it over and has really, really run with it, and but we've done great things over the years. I think,
Right.
we've done a lot of good stuff. At one time we were rebroadcasting local news from Dominica.
Right.
The mapping. You remember that, Sam? We had the mapping news that we
Oh
used
yeah,
to
well, but
broadcast.
yeah, but
Yes.
Thompson, you forget. Even before that, we were already doing TDN Network News. You forget, man.
No, actually, I was looking at some old reels. The other day.
Oh
And
yeah, I mean,
yeah, absolutely,
Thompson
absolutely.
used to come with his tie, his suit, and well dressed Nicole, and then Nicole came and started
Right.
doing it. I
Yeah,
think Anthony
actually,
did it once or twice.
twice. But Nicole was a real pro, you know. Nicole was
Yes.
Yes,
a
yes,
real professional,
yes,
you know, and gave us an excellent start for that.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And
And
then
so
once we
and so
started,
it was born.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, then once we started TDN TV in 2013, which we should actually tell the story of TDN TV and how we actually got to where we were, because I'd spoken to Thompson and Anthony about, hey, since we're doing radio, why not try doing TV online as well? And the first thing we wanted to do was stream Calypso live,
right.
pay-per-view.
And
We were the first to do that from Dominica.
right.
That's right.
And it was a last minute kind of deal, right? I mean, we signed on the dotted line with mapping practically hours before we went live for Calypso, and it was a huge success. I mean, out of that, I mean, I'll spare the details of everything that went into it, but the long and short of it is, out of that, we ended up carrying mapping's channel 5, which was the
Right.
local channel. And so everything that played on the local channel played on TDN TV online. At that time, we called it TDN Entertainment. But later on, we figured that was a little bit long, a little bit
Right.
much for people to remember. So shortened it to TDN TV.
Right.
And here we go. Unfortunately, after Hurricane Maria, right around that time, mapping ended up getting bought by Cayman Wireless, for whatever they call themselves now. And
Right.
well, mapping now is history.
Mm.
So that deal sort of went with that.
Right, with
But,
that, right.
you know, so before anyone jumps in, I do want to say that I want to see where in the coming years or months, hopefully, that we can get back to that where we actually producing our own news again on the TV,
Right.
you know, have a nightly news thing. But, you know, that obviously will take some work and resources. But, you
Right.
know, we have to figure that out. But that is one of the things that I hope to see that we actually get to do again.
Well, I
It was
think
fun.
I think we have people that's capable of that on the team already for sure. So that's
Well, yeah,
one,
definitely.
one
I
thing
think we have the
can do.
human resource. Is the other resource that we need.
Right.
I think we have an abundance of the human resource. We just need the the other one. But yeah,
Yeah,
So
I just
Thompson, let
wanna.
me. Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to jump in and compliment the TDN team for not only
hey,
starting the
Kaza, we miss
platform.
you, man.
I ain't going nowhere. I'm still here, man. I also wanted to just say enough respect to Mr. Thompson Fontaine. You touched a little bit there on the hurricane situation in Dominica when that happened, and I can say I was proud to be part of the team at that time, even if it was just as a DJ. But the work that we did at that time and keeping people hopes up to get in touch with family, it was something to be really, really, it was something that really affected me. I just wanted to say I appreciated being a part of it at that time.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely. That was
yeah,
phenomenal, man. I mean, that 2017 relaying of Maria and the coverage, it was truly phenomenal. And yeah,
yeah.
the
I mean,
fact that we were able to do that and provide that service, it was quite something.
as I said last time, I believe this is what cemented, for me anyway, cemented the need for TDN network. I mean, you know, can you imagine
Not the
what would have
hurricane,
happened?
but you were
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
keep alive
yeah.
while things were going on.
Yeah, having the ability to inform and keep people informed as to what is happening. I mean, as Thompson mentioned the last time we were on here together, I mean, we fielded thousands of calls. You
Yeah.
know, we must have fielded over 200,000 calls by the time our live broadcast ended. You know, post Maria. So you know, and from all over, literally, quite literally all over the world, you know. And at that time, Ross University was still there, so there were a number of Ross parents calling in, trying to get information. After a couple of days, we were able to find the information that they needed to, and where they needed to go and so forth. So I think that for me cemented the need for our existence, if you will. So
Right. Yeah, it was a really really serious time. Uh, Thompson, Kaz, I really want to give you more props than what he just said, but he trust me, he
Hey,
holding back.
I'm here.
Trust
We're,
me.
we're live. I'm here. We live. We can
Yeah,
ask. We
we're
have
live.
we have the
No,
big man on. Let's just ask the three of them. So we go into the FM dial anytime soon. We go in global. We go in on the global front page anytime soon.
No, absolutely. That is the next. That is the next logical place for us. I mean, I'm sorry that's taken so long, but I think 2022 is the year when we make it happen. We have already started some discussions on that, and I'm confident that we can get it. Ideally, what we want is a voice locally in Dominica, where we can be on the FM dials in Dominica at least as a
So
start.
something at home. Yeah. Okay.
And but certainly that is something that we are working on. That is something to look forward to.
my passport has has space for stamps. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. I just say that's space. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that and then what that will also do for us is that it will also allow the radio to become viable, commercially viable.
Right.
That's because once you have a solid base like that, then you can convert that commercially and
Most
begin to pay DJs and so on. So
Right.
that's where we're headed.
Nice. You guys hear it? And my passport else, please. CEO, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, Mr. G, you ready to go on the FM dial, man? You ready to go live?
Bro, so long that's supposed to happen. That's what I had to say. I will leave that. Management is here. They made their statement. I will leave that alone.
Well, you know what they say, right? Good things take time. You don't just find gold on the road like that, especially diamonds. Think about it.
No, I get it.
you gotta go digging. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So,
I get it.
so how has been your time on TDN with the family and everything? You've been here with us for
A year.
a year, right?
Yep.
Let's say over a year, but
No, actually,
A year.
it is over a year if you come 3 days after.
3 days. Well, yeah, a year and 3 days. All right.
Yeah.
How it's been with the family and how do you what's your experience like?
So first of all, now that I have the big men on board, let me first of all thank them again for the opportunity of making a little unknown guy get on the airwaves and do what he does. I want to say big up to Novelist for also affording me the opportunity. The last year with this team has been excellent. We've been through the ups and downs, we've been through the arguments, the ins and outs. But at the end of the day, there is no other team that I feel comfortable working with. Because they make you feel like you're a part of the family, even if you might be an outsider for at least the first 2 days.
Yeah.
So Sam is not stringent at all. We understand what you're saying there. That is technical code, right? Sam you're not stressing you at all.
No. Kaza, do not try to interpret what I am not saying, Kaza. You start. Kaza, I came here to behave myself. It's true, I am the bad child of TDN. Do not, please, do not put words in my mouth. I was just saying that this is one of the best teams to work with. Whether they're stringent, whether they're non-stringent, whether they're hard, whether they're soft. This is just one of the best teams to work with.
So
That, I'll leave it there.
So CEO, you would say that Sam is definitely one of the reasons for that, though. Us getting along and getting everything we want. The spoiled uncle.
Well, you see, in every company, you have to have the one man that has to work with everybody, to try to meet the compromise.
Right.
So that just happened to be Sam.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean Sam's softened.
True.
No, brother. Because when Sam needs to squeeze where you need to squeeze to make you behave yourself, he'll do it.
Right.
Just say it.
I think some understand that more than others. So, CEO, I say leave that where it is before you get in trouble.
Exactly. You see, I finally get to return to the program I helped start. Let me behave myself as I on it, before all they decide what they ban me from it again, That's what I say.
Oh God.
I mean,
So
no, Novi.
yo,
But before you continue, honestly, honestly, the last year and a half has been amazing for me being here. Yeah, I was so. Just for those of you who do remember, I did start off being one of the co-hosts of Dissect. Then I stopped due to circumstances we're not going to get back into. But at the end of the day, I am happy that at least I have started something that has continued and has grown. It doesn't bother me whether I'm on it or not. Big up to Novelist for the idea. He brought it to me. He told me, bro, we're going live. And just like that, we went live. And it's history right now. Correct, Novelist?
that's the way we do things. We don't talk about things. We just get to action. And
Hmm.
the one thing I have to say, you are a man of action. Because I know if I was to call you tomorrow and say, "Yo, let's go and start another program," you wouldn't hesitate to do
Be
that.
down, yeah.
And you
No,
know what I
for
mean.
real. For real.
I like people. I like people like that around me because that motivates me to do more, and I always like to do more. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's definitely a blessed thing. And I'm pretty sure Thompson, um, all this, right? All this from you sitting and just going on YouTube and thinking, you know what, I just want to rebroadcast whatever, to seeing this flourish. Like, how does that make you feel?
Man, this is an awesome feeling. It's really good to see what came out of it. And
Right,
the kind of service that we've been able to provide to the
right,
public. I mean, TDN is now well known entity, and yeah, and I'm really happy that we've been able to sustain for the years. But
right,
as I said, to me now, the main focus has to be on commercializing it and making it,
right.
even moving it to even higher level, and that I think we can do successfully, and hopefully it can get done this year.
Nice.
Hmm.
Beyond commercializing, what else do you see us moving forward? This goes for Anthony, Sam as well. Where else do you guys see us moving forward? Not only with the Dominican culture, we're talking as West Indian Africans. Where else do you see us growing in the marketplace concerning that?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is a start, but definitely with the entertainment side of it, with the television side of it, I believe there's a lot that we can do. In fact, one of the things that when we started off the TV, that we spoke a lot about was to do a lot of different things that to have people know, like in Dominica, because we were thinking of a two-way stream. We would broadcast local content from Dominica, but also activities that were happening in the US. We could
Right.
allow the local audience in Dominica to see it.
Just
So
okay.
stuff that was happening in the diaspora, if there was a cultural show, for example, in New York, or
Mhm.
some event
Yeah.
going on that people in Dominica would get a chance to see. And I think we tried a couple of those as well. And I think that's where we also want to go, to kind
Right.
of keep
Yeah.
that connectivity between Dominica, what's going on locally in Dominica, and what Dominicans are doing in the diaspora. And I
Right.
believe that there is also room for even going beyond outside of Dominica. In fact, I've had some queries from a couple of people in St. Lucia wanting to look at a similar type of thing in St. Lucia. So there's probably something we can look at, probably
Right.
broaden it up a bit, to the Caribbean region,
Mhm.
but in a way, keeping that connectivity, keeping that connectedness between what goes on in Dominica, what goes on in the Caribbean region, and then broadcasting that to a wider audience. And even I am on the continent, I mean, once you go on the internet, there are no limits, So
Right. True.
getting some of our culture onto the continent, making that connection between, the African continent and the Caribbean would also be something that we can look at. So I think, quite frankly, our only limitation is our imagination. I think anything that we can imagine to do, we can do.
We can do it.
And it's just a matter of planning and getting it done.
Wow.
Most
Okay.
definitely. Whew.
That answers my question. Does anybody want to add to that
Yeah, I was gonna
before we
say,
bring in
Anthony.
the next guest?
Yeah,
Anthony,
no,
you wanna
yeah,
address that?
yeah, definitely. So media is important, and if we look at the media landscape in Dominica, the I'm political. Everybody knows that if they listen to this weekend interview. And
Right.
when you look at the media landscape in Dominica, what you see is a capture of the majority of the media by the people in power. You know,
Mhm.
government has control of DBS. By proxy, they have control of Kyrie. I think Labour Party is in control of the New Chronicle. You know, they also, I mean, Q is not necessarily on that same camp, but also if you, I mean, with the way decisions are made in Dominica, you could easily see pressure being put on Q in terms of there was one time there was a call to revoke Q95 license.
Oh wow.
And so the same way TDN was able to step in after Maria, I see TDN as, because we're not based in Dominica, I see TDN as having a role to fill in that media space where we can bring some sensible coverage and information to the people that's
Right.
not necessarily biased on one area. You know, that's a little bit out of the control of the powers that be that run things in the country.
Sure. Right.
So that is a huge part of what I think in terms of answering your question. Where can we go beyond? I think that is sort of like spreading it out, actually recognizing where we are. The other aspect of it is two others, in terms of our culture and in terms of our sports. So there's a lot of sports going on in Dominica, but you don't really hear about it because it's not broadcast as much.
Right.
And so we've spoken about a scenario where maybe if there is like a football league in the East and Castro's playing Grand Fond, maybe somebody there have a cell phone and they can just go live and we can
Right.
live and maybe organize in such a way that even if most of the games are just rebroadcast, we could maybe do the finals or the semi-finals and the finals pay-per-view. But do it in such a way where folks, and if people know that they're getting that kind of exposure, then there's something more than just playing for fun in the young people's minds. So more people might gravitate towards sports, towards music, that kind of thing. And similarly with our culture, Dr. Thompson just came out with his book, The Maroons.
Okay.
But there's a lot more. There are a lot more stories that needs to be captured and told and recorded.
Yes.
And so TDN can also provide some of that space where I try to do some of it on my program where I talk to a lot of local authors. And we've done some stuff with Alex Bruno in terms of his plays and those kind of things. But as a media, I think we have that role where as the folks are starting to go up in age and they're starting to pass on, in my mind, I'm thinking of Chubby, I'm thinking of Gordon Henderson.
Right.
We lost Jeff Joe. We have Lawrence Bruman. You know, those kind of people, we need to be going around and having somebody talk to those guys, broadcast it, record it. So those kind of aspects is where I think TDN could play as big a role as we played in terms of our like Thompson being able to warn people about Maria and actually saving lives.
Right.
And the stuff that we did in and around Maria, I think that those other areas, there's just as important work to do. But TDN can drop into that space and play a role.
Yeah, most definitely. And those are some wonderful ideas, by the way, too. I see we got some more guests in the building. I guess let's introduce some of them. We got DJ Ken.
Hey, Ken.
Is he muted?
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
How y'all doing? Merry
Not
Christmas,
bad, not
all.
bad.
Hey, Merry Christmas, man.
That's DJ Ken.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
Ken.
Christmas to you, man.
Every Saturday is on TDN Radio with the afternoon drive. Ken, we're talking about we're talking about everything. Some things we haven't touched as yet, but I guess let's see, how has your experience been with the family with TDN network? I like to say network for some reason, but yeah, how has your experience been with the family, and how long you been with us?
Oh, wow. How long? Man. Since, around 2011, 2010, 11.
All right.
So we're saying, 7, 9 years?
Yeah, to be accurate, well, I know, but I was just asking you, but I would say 9 years to be exact.
Yeah.
I can teach us do that to you all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was having so much fun that sometimes when you have so much fun that you don't even count the days going by.
Right. Yeah.
You're just having fun doing what you do, and that's the way it was with me, right? And again, I appreciate having you introducing me to the TDN family.
No doubt.
I love it. It's something that right now for me it's just a hobby.
Right.
Right. I do it for fun.
Right.
For me, going further and extreme anything, no. I will play tune after tune, make people happy, talk the talk, whatever,
Right.
to make them happy, make them feel good,
Right.
And as long as they're feeling good, I'm feeling
You're
good,
feeling good.
playing the tunes, right? So
Nice.
that's it for me, right? I don't want to say my age, but I'm up there in age where I'm pretty content where I'm at.
Right.
I've been in the, I guess I like to say musical industry for quite a few years. Say about 15 to 20 years as a DJ.
Right.
But it was mainly club and underground sceneries. Nothing like this. So being a part of this, it's heartfelt. It's I don't know. I just feel good about it, and I love it. Right, I love doing it.
Yeah.
I love being part of something that where we,
So we're
give it
growing
back.
and positive, right?
Exactly. Right. I don't mind giving my time and my energy to have somebody enjoy
Right.
that energy. Right. So, yeah.
Nice. And again, I guess when Thompson, came up with his idea, he wasn't thinking, Dominican of course you're trying to get Dominica out there, but now TDN is not only Dominicans. We have Trinis, and we're gonna have more Trinis. we got Haitians, and we got Dominicans. What else we have? That's it, right? Those three countries, pretty much for now.
Technically.
And technically we have
Hold, hold
half
up.
a Grenadian, half a Grenadian.
Don't try. I don't half a Grenadian,
You have to
brother.
split him in the middle.
I'm half a Grenadian, brother. I'm a full Grenadian and a full Dominican, so I am both. Don't get it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, sir. I apologize.
Right. Don't get in. Don't. You see it. Dr. Fountain, Sam. All you see how novelist like to push my buttons, eh?
He looking in trouble, huh?
Yeah.
But
Brother.
that's what I do best.
Brother,
Ken can tell you, Kaza can tell you. That's what I
But
do best.
tonight-
I push buttons. I push you to get to, because I could. You see, I always see greater than where you are, so I have to push you. You understand?
Yo, but no lie, this man pushed my buttons to the point where I've been doing some good things, so I haven't got a problem with him doing that.
That's what we gotta do, bro. We gotta push each other.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Hey, Ken. So, Ken, where you get the thing with how you call it? Santa getting beat up by grandma, boy. Santa go and break in a Trini house and get bossed up, boy.
Actually, I paid for those samples, right? And yeah, I paid for them, and they were a package deal of one of my DJ pool I was in. So
okay,
I paid for them, and yeah, if you guys like them, I could share it with you, and yeah, sure, good stuff.
You're real funny, boy. That is something we should every Christmas season we ought to be playing that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit comical, hilarious when I first heard it.
Yeah.
That's I could use that. Right?
Mhm.
So am I the only lost one here that have no idea what's going on, or?
You're like, oh, but I in the back of the class free to put up my hand. And get
Me too.
I'm not alone.
Me too.
It's a little thing he have playing. He play it every time he comes on Christmas. He talking about Santa went and break into some grandma house in Trinidad and grandma boss him up. He get beat up by grandma.
Okay.
Yeah.
He went there, he tried to steal or whatever, so he
Yeah.
get beat down from grandma. So that's what I say. As he truly say, he get beat up.
That's not bad.
Get beat or boss up, yeah.
Good evening to everybody on Facebook, on people on YouTube as well that's joining the program. Do subscribe to TDN on YouTube, and do subscribe to Alan's Therapy on YouTube. By the way, I see we got some more guests in the building. I can't really see everybody. Who else we got there, Kaza? Is that Nika in the building? No, I thought we had another guest there. So, Thompson, let me ask you, what does Christmas mean to you? I want to ask everybody down that line, but I'll start with you, Thompson. What does the season mean to you? What does it bring to you?
Well, to me, the season is about family. It's about getting together. It's about sharing. Actually today I was watching something on social media where they had a kind of a band of just people playing together. They had this, the guitar and and the shack and
Right.
and just singing, and then it brought back memories of Christmas. My fondest memories of Christmas is getting up semi out of sleep and hearing the serenade, hearing the singing at the door.
Yes.
And then having your parents open up to the people and people coming and singing. I mean, to me, that's some of the most magical moments of my life.
Right.
I don't know because I was a child or because it was magical, but just to hear the sounds, like you coming out of sleep as a young child and you're hearing that music, and then guys under the grogs, and so on, but playing just singing from the heart,
Right.
and playing, the instruments and so on. And I think up to me, that is Christmas. It's about opening your homes to family. It's about, everybody being together. That to me is what Christmas should be about, that oneness, that sharing, And I call a few guys today in Dominique and they would tell me, yeah, we are preparing our lache mouton, their cow and so
The
on.
cow and goat and
to cook and goat, and that to me is what Christmas is all about. It's
Right.
about that feeling of community, that feeling of sharing. Sadly, we have lost some of this. We have lost some of that oneness, that village type feel. I think we've
Right.
lost. But to me, that still to me embodies what Christmas is all about. It's about
Right.
that cheer, that feeling that it's a time of the year that is unlike any other time in the year. It is different. It is special, and it's something that I always look forward to and try to celebrate as special as I can.
Right. Anthony, you want to touch on that as well? What does the
But-
season mean or
Yes.
bring to you?
Similar to Thompson, growing up in a village of Castle Bruce, you have similar experiences.
Right.
Where in my mind, Christmas coincides with the end of the year, and it always kind of reflects the type of year that you had. So, like if you had a good year, you have some surplus at Christmas. The kids get a little more gifts, get a little more, the soup had a little more meat. The house get a paying job, and so to me it was a marker growing up in terms of how well we were doing as a family, as a people, and of course, as Thompson said, the festivity, because there usually was a dance. and
Right.
my parents would allow me to go to matinee dance.
Mm-hmm.
But me being me, at the end of the matinee dance, I would hide in the hall and stay for when the big dance started. so, so I have some of the memories as well. My mother coming down by the dance and look for me. And I trying to escape and run home so I don't get a beating in public. So it's a lot of festivity, a lot of memories,
Right.
you're trying to when you try and you think you're big man, you and your partners get together and try to make your own bath by the river, because that's
Right.
what the big boys do. And so, it is in my mind, it's always about that kind of a festive time.
Right.
And so when I had my kids, I always try to make sure that I paid it forward and make sure that Christmas was a special time for the kids as well. Because as I think most of us would say, some of our best childhood memories is really around that Christmas time. And the other thing I would say is that there's something that's different. I mean, I remember getting a balloon for my Christmas and I was happy. That was my toy. Balloon. Sometimes a little ball that they buy by Madesh or by whatever it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
softball, that was enough. I don't think I ever get a cock gun for Christmas. I did get a capsule gun one time.
Right.
But to us, we didn't that we took that in stride and we just continue enjoying ourselves and that kind of organic and authentic kind of memory, will
Right.
stay with me for a long time, man.
Nice. So, Sam, would you say you had the same experience?
Pretty much the same experience. One of the things for me too is, the fun of doing. And well, one of the special things about it is that you kind of got to do things together with your entire family.
Right.
You would have to help doing things, and even the normal things we did every day growing up at that time. There was no pipe borne water, so you had to go around pan and get water. Thompson knows about that very well. You had to go around pan and carry water and that kind of thing. And even then, during that time, it is more fun. First of all, a lot of your friends are doing it at the same time you are doing it,
Right.
and you are doing other things with your family, helping at home, and and plus, well, you get to stay up very late.
Yep.
So and then when the folks come and they sing in their say, well, now you too get to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever the time was. So and as Thompson mentioned earlier, it is very sad that we've lost so much of that tradition.
Right.
Kids these days, they don't know anything about that. You don't mention to these 20-year-olds, 25, even 30-year-olds nowadays about Serenal. They'll ask you, what is that? They don't know what that is.
It's totally different. Like it's a different culture now or something.
Definitely different. But yeah.
Ken, would you say your experience in Trinidad would be the same, or would it be a little bit different?
Well, my experience, I left Trinidad when I was 13 years old. And for me, Christmas in Trinidad was the best. It seemed like it was the best because it had people gathering where we go from house to house. No high professional musical instruments.
Right.
This is all handmade stuff, right? We
Yeah.
have space with a piece of wood and a box and a hole in it with strings, and that would be the bass and a quattro and a shack and a piece of iron. So all these were just handmade musical instruments.
Right.
The piece of bamboo, tail bucket.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
No, I was just adding to what you were saying about the instruments. We still have either the empty pigtail bucket, the 5-gallon bucket, the cover, the pail, or a piece of bamboo.
Yeah.
So
And and this is
Behind
what
Christmas.
My family members, like my dad, he was part of the Parang team. So They would
Oh,
have like a parang side, and we'd go house to house parangin, and it's not for money or wealth or anything. It was just for joy and making the neighbor feel, you know, joyful and singing, and in return they will feed us, and you know, and have a couple of drinks and be joyful. And
Right.
for me, that was the best time I ever could think of Christmas. You know, like my parents wasn't rich or anything. They it's not like we were opening presents and stuff. This is my type of Christmases, where we going house to house, having a good time,
Right.
show love and harmony
Yeah.
throughout the neighborhood.
So that
Right?
was yeah. You know, the funny thing is, when I came to Canada, they actually had Creole in too, like, you know, just like we had in DA. I mean, it was a different experience, but we started the Creole in thing too, right? But
yeah,
yeah,
it's the same. Say we now. It's the same thing. That's what I
yeah,
mean.
they definitely have
Yeah.
changed. We have one of Dominica's power couples in the building with us. The man, Double L, and of course his beautiful mistress, wife, Miss Leta, Miss Paula Leta. Good evening, folks. Let's,
You guys
oh,
are muted.
yeah, you guys are muted, or yeah, actually they are muted. Can you get? All right, I guess we'll try to get the mic situated in the meantime. CEO, I guess you have different your Christmas experience will be a little different from what we hear from Sam Thompson, Ken, and Anthony. I think you're muted as well. Yeah, you're definitely muted.
Yeah, the host has unmuted my mic.
Yeah.
I mean, Kaza, come on, man. Oh, the fella.
All right,
Anyway,
let's get to the
let's
question.
let's get to the question. But for me, yeah, my Christmas experience was kind of different for true. Because I mean, I am one of those '80s babies where things were done a little differently. Some of them. I mean, the Serenal thing in Dominica was that I have definitely experienced that.
Mhm.
In Grenada, I experienced something different. You know. But
Right.
that was more like where you would get together with your family and you always get together in one house and everybody will be there and that is where we do everything.
Oh,
That's
okay, okay.
after. That's after
Right.
church. You go to church. You come back from church. Sometimes depending on how it is, it's not a midnight mass you go to. You go to a actual church service at some point during the day.
Hmm.
Then you get home. Then you go to family. Sometimes you would even end up on a beach. It depends on what it is.
Right.
So it was a totally different experience for me. Although right now I'm not much of a Christmassy person.
Right.
But I think like the rest of the guys said, Christmas has lost a lot of its central meaning.
Oh yes.
It has become very commercialized, where it is about what you buy, if you buy the latest shoes, or if you buy the PS5 or
Right.
them kind of a thing. It has moved from the main purpose why we supposed to celebrate it. Even and I'm not just talking from a religious standpoint, I'm just talking from a human standpoint. That's my take on Christmas.
All right. I don't know if Kaza want to touch on that. We don't have much time left. Kaza, I could interview you, Kaza. I could ask you questions about Xmas, the holidays, Christmas, however you want to pronounce it.
Kaza,
Kaza, you're not on the screen, and you like we're not hearing you, buddy.
so Kaza,
you,
oh
you're
Kaza,
trying to duck. Why are you trying to duck?
That's just bad etiquette, the host doesn't interview the guy behind the camera. That's just bad etiquette. I mean,
well, you
management to
see,
tell you that. You just don't do
that's
that.
the thing. The thing about tonight is it's not really an interview. Yes, we try to handle it that way, so you could hear everybody speaking, but it's his family. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
we're talking about our experience as
I mean,
TDN family. We're talking about our experiences, Noel and all that good stuff. We're just talking. So Let us know some
Been,
of your kinfield
I've been
experience. You bus can over the airport or anything like that.
No, I wouldn't say I do that. No. Left home since I was about 9. So most of the holiday seasons that I would see would be up here. But the memories that I do have with family would be us getting together, and it would always be Brooklyn. Brooklyn, New York was like our spot because so much is in the tri-state area, right?
Right.
We always used to get together, and that used to be a wicked weekend because it'd be like a big house, and you have kids running all over. And stop, do this, who break something in the background, right? So it was always nice to have your elders around, to have, seems like the food doesn't end for some reason on that weekend. I don't know why. Right?
Yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
it was always good vibes, it's always good vibes. When family gets together, it's always good vibes. It's a lot of love in the building, and it's memories that you don't forget, right? Things that you cherish and you take through life with you, for sure.
Right. Yeah, like CEO said, the values have definitely changed, and even just listening to Thompson and down to CEO, I could say I guess I was in the middle of that change, right? Because I remember the singing of the caroling. I remember my grandfather and whoever else would kill whatever animal, sometimes different animals, you know what I mean? They would make all this black pudding and all this stuff. And I remember my mom making cake all the time. You know what I mean? I remember we bossing canoe and just who blow out the eyebrow. As you can see, I have none.
Troublesome guy, man.
There's probably a reason why. I don't know. I'm just saying I have none. I don't know why, but so that was our thing. And then the bandits and the starlight. I don't know if you guys remember starlight. Is like a little.
Yeah.
Call it something different.
Yeah.
But, that was the era. Yeah. So
So we have Super L and
so now we have
all
Super
about
L and
Nika.
later, and we have Nika in the building. You guys, you guys
hearing
sound
them now?
so far, so far. Nika, what's
Just working. Holidays, busy season.
yeah? So yeah, your experience is different.
Yes. Since
You,
we don't, Christmas is a pagan holiday, like they say. We don't really celebrate it much. So usually, what we do, we just gather together and then eat food and give each other gifts. That's pretty much what I do with my mom.
right?
But we only did that for like 2 years, since I wasn't with her for that long.
Okay.
But in any other years in my life, I never really celebrated Christmas.
Okay. So
Yeah.
different household, different thing, which is all good. I guess we having problems with Paula and Levi's audio. It has been a wonderful evening. Yeah, apparently it's 8 o'clock already. So and I know you guys are probably gonna have to go back to your family, probably go rest off some of that food you guys eat, and probably go finish some of the food you guys left at the table. So I definitely want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming on to Dissect. I want to thank especially Mr. Thompson, Anthony,
Big
and
up.
of course Mr. George himself, Sam, for the opportunity to even be part of the TDN family, and of course Miss Paula later as well, right? So again, gentlemen, ladies, thank you for joining us. Thank you for making this a wonderful event, and I hope to spend many more years with you guys, and I hope you guys have a beautiful upcoming year and beautiful shows and everything you guys do. Just keep up the good work.
Plus, if I may just quickly, just to say Merry Christmas to the audience, to the fans, and everybody who's tuning in right now. Merry Christmas, and thank you for supporting us through the entire 21, and we look forward to your support for the coming year.
Thompson, you want to touch on that before we leave?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Just to say thanks a lot. Looking forward to great things in 2021. 2022 rather. It will certainly be a breakthrough year. So I want to wish everybody just Merry Christmas. Enjoy the rest of the season, and let us keep working hard. In the new year ahead.
Most definitely. Sam?
Just to reiterate, both Thompson and everyone, just saying Merry Christmas to everybody, the fans, the viewers, listeners to TDN. Of course, you guys, our hosts and DJs. If we don't say it often enough, I'm saying it again. Thank you for everything you guys do. Thank you for keeping the dream going and keeping it moving forward. Looking forward to continuing working with you all and growing bigger in the next year. And of course, um, enjoy the rest of the season.
Most definitely. DJ Ken,
Thank you for
anything
having
you
me.
wanted to touch on
Yes,
before we leave?
Brian and Paula. Hey guys, Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas to you.
We have audio now.
Now we can hear
Finally,
you
now we
guys.
have audio at the end.
I know. I'll come to you guys. I'll come to you guys. I guess we're already saying goodbye, but you guys don't go anywhere. Ken, you want to say, best wishes to anybody before?
Yeah, I just want to say Merry Christmas to all the TDN family, Sam, Anthony, Thompson. Honestly, I didn't really know that you were actually engine of TDN.
Right.
I just found out now, and Merry Christmas, and thank you for actually having me on board on TDN. Right now, it sounds like we're underwater. I don't know if.
Yeah, the service is beginning to drop. I think the internet is acting up.
Yeah, and the lovely young lady there, I'm not sure what her name
Nika.
is.
That's Nika.
Nika, Merry Christmas, and it's a pleasure to meet you for the first time. And Paula and Mr. L, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
My CEO, first time I met you. Merry Christmas, brother. And from Trini to Dominica, Dominic, when I got lots to say, but not enough. This radio station that taught me a lot. It expanded my musical mind, right?
Right.
I didn't know anything about bouillon until I actually was part of TDN.
Right.
So that I appreciate TDN for introducing me to a different genre of music that I was unaware of, right?
Right.
Maybe I've heard it before, but I didn't know it was
Pay attention to it. Right.
exactly.
Right.
But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love anything that goes from Dominica, St. Lucia, Martinique, all the way down the line, all the way down the coast. I love it.
Nice.
I love the music.
Well, it's each one teach one, right? And we definitely have to teach each other. So, nice. CEO, anybody you want to big up before you?
All right, so straight up, I am the bad child of TDN Radio. They call me the CEO, and I'm gonna say this: Merry Christmas to everybody. Once you're part of the team, Merry Christmas to you. Big up Super L Paula, Dr. Fontaine. Everybody name going to slip me right now because I have a flu and the flu medication is starting to kick in, so I might knock out real quick. But I had to say this: thank you for supporting. Keep supporting us. Trust me. 2022, bigger, better things from me and the rest of the crew. Novelist, I gone.
All right, sir. It was nice having you.
All right. See you, Gio.
Yeah.
See you as well in the building. So let's talk to Miss Paula and let's talk to Levi before we leave.
Hello, Merry Christmas.
Same to you. I don't even know where to start with you guys, but I guess I would just want to say, you guys been part of the family for how long?
I think it's been like a lifetime.
Well, TDN is about 12 years old, so
Yeah, a couple lifetimes, one or two,
So that's exactly what lifetime means.
yeah.
give or take one or two. Yeah,
Nice, nice. So,
Yeah.
and I've taken it well, you came into TDN Radio with experience, right?
yeah, definitely, most definitely, I did. It's always been a pleasure to be part of TDN because one thing about it is the station allows you to grow as you need to grow. So which
Yes.
step they're there as part of your growth process,
Right.
right? So
Right.
I mean, I had already kind of been doing it for a number of years. So for me, it was always nice to be able to share my knowledge or whatever
Right.
that I knew that could assist with the station.
Right.
So yeah. But again, I mean, I started off with the station doing the news on Experience Creole. And then from there, I went to basically doing a funk and soul show with Old School Funk Party. And that was actually part of my growth too, right? It was me being allowed to experiment with that music that I'd known from so long ago.
All right.
Sam just said, "Yeah, go ahead, experiment, do it." And because Sam, you might kick yourself because now I'm doing it on another station. And
Yeah, I ought to fire you.
Sorry, Sam, but that's the whole thing, right? It's about growing. But even though you grow and you might move on or out, you're still stay to be involved because everybody is so hospitable and it's a great place to be.
Right.
You'll always be part of the family, man. So.
Well, you're gonna have to kick me out. So. I'll be your star. It'll be great. You'll love it.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just want to say that I got to jump off. I got some family members just
yeah.
All
So
right, Ken, cool.
It's been a pleasure being part of the Dissect.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, enjoy. Thanks for stopping by, Ken.
All right. Okay.
Merry Christmas, man.
Novelist.
All right. We'll talk, bro.
All right, Ken.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir. I think anybody that thanked me for bringing them on TDN network should thank Miss Paula later for bringing me there because she's the reason why all of you there. You know what I mean?
And Sam is the reason why I'm there, which is the reason why Thompson is the reason why it's all it's like a domino effect, right?
Right.
It's a great domino effect, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is because we went
And
from
then
just
as part of the domino effect, we got Sibel now too.
yes, sir. That's that we have to jump to
Whether
that
I
man.
wanted to, whether I wanted to or not.
No choice in the matter.
Well,
I like to call it a vicious cycle.
Woman is boss.
Well, I mean, you can't be on the stage dancing and running all over the place forever. I mean, a partner say something about age up there. I mean, you have to slow down. So,
No, well, they cannot say. You see, that's the problem with them. They cannot say because are younger than all the other ones that in America that running all over the place and nobody telling them to sit down. No, it's a Dominican problem. It's a Dominican problem. We want to tell you when to go on TDN, when not to listen to TDN, when to listen to novelists, when not to listen to novelists. It's not making sense.
Right.
So, how are you enjoying your experience, Creole? Because, like you said, he kind of was, and the last time I said too, I had to literally kind of convince him that this is what he needed to be doing right now.
Slow down, novelist, tell me.
Honey, nobody said.
No. I didn't tell you to slow down.
I know. That's what I said.
I said.
Telling you.
Older people should slow down.
Older people. I'm a handsome fellow,
But
boy.
y'all had your vitamin C and your vitamin D.
Gassa, I just had my latest checkup. They tell me, Super L, what you have a cape or what?
Well, also that is why you have the S on your head.
There you go.
That's why I tell you.
And the new movie is out today.
And the new song out, Riding Rudolph Riding. Rudolph Riding. Come on, man.
I don't know what world I'm in, boy. I need to catch up. So,
It's all good
but
though.
It's all good.
And,
It's
and,
all
what I,
good.
and,
It's
and
all
I'm
good.
and I'm so happy that Experience Creole kind of, even though it had taken about a 4-year break, came
right,
back onto TDN with Super L.
right,
And
Definitely.
there's a lot of, like, all the shows have something a little bit different to bring to the station, and I
yes,
think that is the beauty of the station. And I think,
Well,
yeah,
okay, to be realistic with talking about that, even with Experience Creole, as I said before to the public, Mr. Thompson Fontaine gave us the opportunity to be able to showcase other artists that never been heard on. I'm talking about
yes,
international artists like Brian Rock, like Desi Hyson, like Rubina George, all these artists that are extremely ordinary out there in North America. And none of these other radio stations in Dominica who play them guys' music.
right.
TDN, woo, leading the way. Yeah,
And you know
Absolutely.
that
I do a Creole show that educating the young generation about the old school Creole from Martinique, Guadeloupe, Haiti, Dominica.
right.
And I squeeze in on my Creole show reggae and
Mhm.
other genres to highlight Dominica international artists.
But you know, I noticed we all speaking the same language and like saying different words because Anthony said something earlier about we were talking about TDN going FM, right? And he was saying that you know, where TDN would stand apart from the existing stations in Dominica is that we from the outside we cannot be influenced by what's going on there. And
exactly.
you just pretty much said the same thing. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like with TDN, I noticed I used to say something a long time ago, and Sam could back me up. Where I used to say we originate and never duplicate. But now I'm actually
Well,
sitting here and I'm running through all the shows in my head. They're all original in their own way,
Absolutely.
right?
yeah.
And they're all educational in their own sense as well.
And the
Yeah.
beauty about the station is that it just has so much variety, and it's not
It's not boring, say it, man. It's not boring.
Right.
Yes.
Interesting. You know, can I
We
just
try not to.
back up for a second, because you guys were talking about Christmas,
Mhm.
and I think for me, I think my Christmas might have been a little bit different than most everybody else's
Right. Yeah.
Christmas.
Let's hear this.
She's a bourgeois.
White Christmases, man.
She's a bourgeois.
But I loved everybody's Christmas, and I thought, wow, you know,
Don't carry water on her head like
I did not. And I thought, oh, that's such a different Christmas. Mine was not that. I mean, mine was more skating, ice skating, and tobogganing, and snowballs, and building igloos, and that was my Christmas. But it was,
Yeah, most of your Christmases were white Christmases, right?
yeah, pretty much. And you know what's interesting though is that now, even in where the city that I grew up in, there's barely any snow anymore. But when I was growing up, it was snow to your, you know, past your knees and up. You know, to walk to school in, and but the interesting thing is that when you were playing in the snow, you weren't
wasn't cold.
cold.
No, not at all.
You didn't even want to come in. That was insanity. And now
Yeah.
I don't even want to go out.
Mr. Fontaine, Sam, listen to my story. I wanted to tell my story, and Paula don't want me to tell my story. But I'm going to tell my story. When my father was in politics in Dominica, government used to get something like $100, $120. My father couldn't afford to buy me all Dominica bourgeois people fancy things. So Baron, Astafan, and those places, when you window shopping in those days, by Bata Shoe Store and them places. I have to tell my story on.
Go ahead. I'm not
You don't want me to tell you.
I want you to
You
tell.
are bourgeois.
I want you
I'm
to
not
tell your
bourgeois.
story. I want you to tell your
I was
story.
a poor man.
Tell your story.
So my father, all the guys in my neighborhood, like Elvis Dow that passed away, Sty, the British drummer,
Right.
Professor, all of them, their parents, whoever sent
Rest
things
in
for them
peace,
from
Professor.
England, St.
Yes.
Croix, St. Thomas, Guadeloupe. Fellas have gone that making big noise on the street. Bo, capsule, baba, bo, cowboy and Indian. All that time, Super L don't have nothing. I should make my gun with wood because
Yes.
so my father saw me crying, and he went down the road and he buy me a big gun. For me, it was a big gun.
Yeah.
He brought it back. It was the gun with the little cock at the end of a string. I remember them gun in them people trade long time ago. So now I go in the neighborhood trying to scare fellas that cowboy and Indian and they like have a big gun. Fellas, I pull the trigger, I up.
Yeah.
Fellas start to scream and shout, Levi don't have a gun. Levi don't have a gun.
That's your story.
Poor people's story. You know what I mean? That's my story. That's my experience for Christmas. That's my Christmas.
Wow. I think that story topped all the stories for the evening.
Yes, indeed.
I'm telling you, because my father could have buy me those kind of expensive things.
But you must have had some
Oh
Christmases.
my God.
No, I never had no happy Christmases. I was rich like you.
Okay, okay.
I wasn't working.
Paula was swimming in pool in winter time in Canada. You're a wealthy woman. Wow.
So what's the experience like now though? Like okay, now you have the bourgeois and the rich together.
Say that again.
What is the experience with the bourgeois and
Oh my God!
and the petty bourgeois together? What's the experience like now?
We get our feet done, and the small. No,
Oh, okay, so he's bourgeois now.
this is it. Right now, we've elevated you.
I belong in your service. I've been working in your service. I belong in your
I believe love that as that question.
I have been Paula engineer from Ryerson University from time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell them the true story.
That's my Christmas gift right there.
So anything I benefit in now is because of TDN, not because of you.
Absolutely.
Oh Lord. Levi.
I'm gonna keep the disclaimer at the bottom for the remainder of the show, just so that people know that the story is being expressed by Super L does not reflect Dissect.
It's just too well as usual, so that's okay. It doesn't do anything. Trust me. This is all good. It's all good. It's all
You know
good.
what?
Well, we're having a good Christmas now. I mean, right now for sure. We have built our studio here for the Funk and Soul.
And we've got balloons
radio
up,
show,
and we're ready for the third.
On the second of January. I'm going to go for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people was wondering why I wasn't going live on TDN TV with Experience Crew. But I can't go on Facebook like other people and tell people about my illnesses.
Right.
As everybody else, that's not my kind of thing. I don't believe in sharing my whole life story with everybody else like that. So I chose not to go on television, and I haven't been the facilities that TDN Supply gave to me. But on the 2nd of January will be the very first time Experience Creole will be going live on TDN, and I, the handsome one, will be performing. The handsome one will be performing. And I paid free. I not charge. TDN not charging money. I not charging money.
But you never do anyway.
You understand?
So you're doing it.
And
Doing
free
it from a good place.
Entertainment on TDN. So thank you, TDN, for everything that you have been doing for the many, many years, the Christmas shows, the Christmas spirit, and I just want to say, I can't see all the names there on the screen, but I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Stay safe. Stay safe.
What's the young lady's name?
Nika. That's Nika.
Nika. Hello.
I want to say Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas and all the best to everyone. And just, stay safe and get ready for 2022. I'm sure that TDN has really interesting things ready for us, and I'm excited to get into it. So thanks.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you guys too.
All right. And again, thank you everybody for joining. And this ended on a pretty high note. I'm in a good spirit. I was always in good spirit. I'm in a higher spirit now. Thanks to Levi. So I wish everybody happy holidays and a happy new year. We'll be back January 8th. Taking the next Saturday off and let you guys go. do your fireworks and all that good stuff. And when we come back on Dissect in January, we'll have the Queen of Calypso Music, Miss Tasha P, will be joining us on the program. And again, everybody, thank you for joining us, and you guys have a blessed weekend.
Fantastic.
Okay, you too.
Thank you. Fantastic. Bless up.
You on the show, novelist.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.